Hello, and welcome to Colonel O'Truth's Miniature Issues and the ongoing build of the city I'm calling Vellicia. In today's episode, I'm playing around with street lighting. I decided some time ago that Vellicia was going to have plenty of light built into it, and this would include lanterns and street lamps. But just as with the architecture, I want this to have a slightly organic look, not too linear. If you watched the video on the Trader's Shack some weeks ago, you'll have seen me make a lantern from the end of a pen. Here I'm experimenting with different types of wire, different sized LEDs, and the same ballpoint pens as I used before. Some wires are too springy, some too fine. In some cases, the pins on the LEDs will be hard to cover up. So I made myself several prototypes and took my time coming up with the best idea. So after several hours of mucking about, I had a prototype. Here I've got my gold lamppost in an organic twisted style with working LEDs at the top in clear lanterns. It's not bad, it's a little rough. And I think it's a bit too big as well when compared with a miniature the right size for the city. So here's my second attempt. The lanterns are gold this time and pointing down, and the whole thing is slightly smaller. I've decided I want 2 lampposts flanking the great steps that lead up to Lyccium House. I made this working prototype with flickering orange LEDs, just because I was using up too many of my warm white ones experimenting. So clearly this isn't going to find its way into the final model. But let's try and recreate it. Here are my pens, and don't worry, I'm going to keep most of the pieces I take out here for use in other models later on. I carefully roll it underneath the sharp blade, working my way through until the end comes neatly off. I'll need to trim off some of the flash. Now to prepare my LEDs. Each will have an insulated wire and a plain uninsulated wire twisted together. I start by stripping the ends of the insulated wires and tinning them. This is when you pre-solder the stripped twisted wire. And let's tin the ends of the uninsulated wires as well. I need to cut the LEDs very short to fit inside their shades. So I'll start with the long side, that's the positive. I'm going to hold it firmly in place on a roll of tape to make things easier. My insulated wire is going to my positive. There. Now I'll cut down my negative. Let's make sure that works. For anyone who's new to this project, This is all part of a city called Vellicia, and this first building is Lyccium House, a hotbed of political intrigue, manipulation and scheming within the city. I'm drawing my inspiration from the Art Nouveau movement of the early 20th century, but adding plenty of fantasy elements as well. Back to the LEDs. I've got some tiny pieces of insulation off some thicker wire. I'm just sliding this down my positive to cover one of the pins, so there's no danger of a short circuit inside the lamp. I'd have to start the whole thing again. Now I take the shade I cut from the pen and slide the wires through. Pushing it all the way down until it covers the LED. There we go. Quick blob of superglue to hold it in place, and plenty on the inside as well. This is essential because I'm about to twist the wires. I want everything to be nice and firm. So let's twist the first one. I'm holding it with pliers to prevent any damage to the soldering as I twist. And then I need to twist as tightly as I can, so I don't end up with any loose loops. If you're enjoying this video, please remember to like, subscribe and share, and leave your comments for me. The next milestone I hope to reach is that of 10,000 subscribers. So your support is hugely appreciated. Thank you. I'll test all 4 of these. Wouldn't want to find I'd got a faulty one after building the whole lamppost. So far, so good. Each lamppost is going to be built from 2 of these LED lanterns. I want to get my curves approximately the same as my original prototype, but because these are being designed to look organic, it's not critical. If anything, it'll be better if each has its own slightly different character. The combination of the insulated wire and the uninsulated, slightly stiffer wire makes these easy to manipulate into shape, and they hold their shape very nicely. One lantern will hang slightly below the other, and when I've got them at about the right heights, I'm going to twist them together. Get my nice little bend in there. And when both are about right, I need to think about the bottom of the lamppost as well. These are the ends of the same pens as before, but I've cut them slightly differently because I've got more wire to fit through this hole. It takes a bit of manipulation. The further I cut into this pen, the wider the hole is. They're conical. Let's try that again. That's not bad. Sorry about the camera angle there. Once again, plenty of superglue to hold that in place. And now for some green stuff. If you haven't seen this before, this is modelling putty. Miniaturists use this for sculpting their miniatures. It's fantastic stuff. Comes in 2 parts. Mix it together until the blue and the yellow make green. And then do pretty much what you want with it. In this case, I'm just using tiny amounts to finish off the bases of these lampposts. I squidge it more or less into shape, and then work it with a silicone tool. It's time for some paint. I'm going to mask off the LEDs. Just to make life easy, I'll stick these into some 5mm foam board. And take them away to be spray painted. When the black undercoat is dry, I can take the masking tape off, and I'll just touch up the edges underneath with some black acrylic paint. The city of Vellicia is part of a much larger world which includes Undercrag City, a project I completed over a 2-year period fairly recently. If you haven't seen that, please do feel free to go and have a look. There's a playlist of about 70-something videos. And feel free to comment. Vellicia is known as the city of the artisan princes, and the various noble houses try to outdo each other, not just in politics, but in architecture and art as well. House Lyccium is wealthy, influential, and merciless. Let's check these are working again. If they're not, I'll have to start again. One side is good. Maybe it's just the connection. There. That's a relief. Before I continue, I'm going to add some tails to these that will run through the model and connect to the rest of the lights. I've mentioned before that soldering is a very useful skill to have. It's not particularly difficult, but it takes a little bit of practice. Again, check it's all working. and I'm going to mark my positive wire with a bit of red tape. Now for the gold paint. I'll just daub this on nice and thick, and in fact it's going to take 2 coats. I've wrapped the wires beneath with black insulation tape, and that makes it nice and easy to hold this. I don't need to be delicate here. When the 2 coats of gold paint are dry, I'm adding a watered down brown ink wash. Plenty of it all over the lampposts. I really like the tree-like effect of these shapes. This organic look will be adopted everywhere in Vellicia. Next, when the brown is dry, I'm going to add a combination of green ink and blue ink to create a verdigris. This will take the gold to more of a bronze. Again, I'm putting this on very heavily, but these inks dry fairly clear, so it won't be as green as it first appears. And now some heavy dry brushing with more of the gold. Working in layers like this and working over what you've done before always adds depth and character. Whether it's stonework, metalwork, fabric, whatever it is you're doing. Now I need to decide where my lights are going. The pavement is marked out in a very linear fashion, so it'll be easy for me to get this nice and symmetrical. I've chosen a spot where slabs meet. I'm going to start with a small drill bit and work my way up. I can fix the damage to the wall later on. Tidy up the rough spots. And see if you can spot the deliberate mistake. in goes my wiring. And I'm happy with the positioning, so a few blobs of super glue and hold it firmly in place. And it's at this point that I realise I didn't add the little pearls underneath the lamps. So I'm going to have to stick them on as they are. I'm trying to be delicate with this first one, and it's not really working. So let's just be heavy-handed and put it all back where it belongs afterwards. There, that's about right. Fortunately, the paint being acrylic is not cracking away as I'm working. As a final touch, a little bit of staining at the base, just to tie it in with the ground. And there we are. I'll be adding more of these street lamps throughout the city, but I think this is a great start. They nicely complement the smooth curves and organic architecture of Lyccium House. In the next episode, I'll be adding details to the courtyard in front of the house. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.